Hello, Breakout students, taking you through quiz 1 of sequences and series. All right, so Imran and Aubrey were asked to find an explicit formula for the sequence 14, 5, -4, -13. So Imran said the formula is g of n is equal to 14 minus 9 times n minus 1. Aubrey said the formula is g of n is equal to 14 times minus 9n. So there's two ways to express an explicit form of a sequence. So what we can do is we can find the explicit form and then after that figure out. One way, there are two explicit formulas are going to be an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. That's one explicit sequence. The other one is going to be an is equal to a1 minus d plus dn. So these are the two explicit forms. So here a1 is 14. And this is going to be an arithmetic sequence because I can see that we subtract 9 for each term. Because we are subtracting for each term, minus 9, minus 9, minus 9. D is equal to negative 9. So plugging in to find our explicit sequences, at least for this version, an is going to be equal to a1, which is 14, plus n minus 1 times negative 9, which means we can say an is equal to 14 minus 9 times n minus 1. And so we see that as Imran's formula, so at least Imran is correct. Now let's use this formula to figure out Aubrey's formula, all right? Aubrey's formula is g of n, all right, is going to be equal to a1 minus d, so 14 minus negative 9 plus negative 9n. Or g of n would be equal to 14 plus 9. That would be 23 minus 9n. And we can see that these two are not equal when you have your n terms instead of your n minus 1 term. So only Imran is correct, not Aubrey. And we can see that was correct, so we can clear annotations. All right, complete the recursive sequence. Well, D1, we're just looking at for the first term. Here's the first, the second, the third, the fourth term. And the first term here is 8, so I know that D1, this is going to be equal to 8. And then what this is saying is that for each term in the sequence, so for a term in the sequence, a term is equal to the previous term. Previous term. All right, and because this sequence is arithmetic, because we are adding, that's going to be minus 13, minus 13, minus 13. So our previous term plus, what is that going to be? Negative 13. So our first term is 8, and our next term is going to be, each term will be the previous term plus negative 13, or minus 13. Clearing annotations. C of 1 is equal to 6. So So Cn is equal to C of n minus 1 minus 16. Find the third term in the sequence. So the first term is 6, right? So C1 is equal to 6. Each term is equal to the previous term minus 16. So our first term is 6. Our second term would be equal to 6 minus 16. So that would be equal to negative 10. Which means our third term would be equal to negative 10 minus 16, which would be equal to negative 26. We also find the explicit form. Remember, Cn would be equal to C1 plus n minus 1 times d. So C3 would be equal to C1 plus 3 minus 1 times d. So C3 would be equal to 6 plus 2 times negative 16. So that would be equal to 6 plus 2 times negative 16 is plus negative 32, which is going to be equal to negative 26. Another method is Cn is, and I'm doing this comprehensively. This is more than enough to answer the question. Cn is equal to A1 minus D plus Dn. So that could be, it's equal to 6 minus negative 16 plus negative 16n. That would be equal to 24 minus 16n. So that would be 20. So that means C3 would be equal to 24 minus 16 times 3. This would be 16 times 3, that's 30 times, so that's 24 minus 48. Wait. Six, that's gonna be 22. This would be 22. 6 minus negative 16 is 6 plus 16 is 22. 22 minus 16 times 3. It's going to be 30. Yeah, 22 minus 48, which is going to be equal to C3, is equal to, once again, negative 26. So 3 methods to find our answer. Negative 26. What is the next term in the arithmetic sequence? All right. Well, that means we're adding something. Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. So we need to do 18 plus 5. 8 plus 5 will be 13. Carry the 1, 23. Find the fifth term in the sequence. All right. Well, we already have the explicit form, so to find D5, that's just going to be equal to 6 minus 4 times 5 minus 1, which which is equal to 6 minus 4 times 5 minus 1 is 4, which is equal to 6 minus 16, which is just equal to 6 minus 16. It's going to equal to negative 10. All right, so that's quiz 1. Hopefully that will help you out.